Perfect? Once again, no, but it's beginning to look good. Let's turn on a mask, switch over to brush, just tab out just a little bit, tap it out, just get rid of some of that around there, allow the other rock to pop through. What I'm going to do is keep a little bit of this information above where it connects, just so I have a gutter in the future, because I'm going to actually just place a rock over this. I'm more concerned with the back, the ends, and the bottom where I do like the rock already, like right here. So look how close that's getting to each other, which is not necessarily a good thing. This makes it difficult because it sits in so far also. So I'm going to go ahead and use the other rock information and just do that. There we go. So I'm really just making the calls myself on how it cuts across now. As you notice, so it doesn't translate across here anymore, so I actually need to move this completely across here. I'm going to actually need to push this further across. I'm going to have to fix this rock right there. But it's softer, it's a little bit nicer, and this makes a very difficult area, so I'm going to, in straightening this out, to go across here to fit underneath this new area. To do that, it's going to take a little bit of work here. Once again, not perfect. Okay, so I'm going to choose a rock to fill in this space right here now. I kind of like this double pattern going on, but you don't want three, so I'm going to continue this line all the way across here. And once again, kind of arbitrarily choosing what to grab from. The odd sizes and shapes of everything makes this much more difficult than normal, than a clean pattern. But to get cool stuff, this is the steps that you have to go through. So at this particular point, I'm going to decide this is where I want this line to go. And I'm going to have to keep on fixing little bits and pieces, because what I want to do is I'm creating a line to go there before I even bother erasing. I forgot to jump up my layer. So here we go. So that's going to go across there. I'm going to have to continue this line across here and then that line across there, so these will be broken into smaller pieces. I'm going to select an area. This looks like a good area to steal from. They're a little bit big, so maybe we'll steal from here. I'm going to steal this group. These are probably going to be too big to fit in some of these areas, but what I want to do is start carrying this idea across. And as you see, much too wide, but this brick fits pretty well in this area. So let's take this right here. Soften that edge a little bit so I can see what I'm doing better. But you can see where I'm just forcing this line to exist that didn't exist before. Get this out of the way. Going to get rid of some little bits here and there, kind of tying pieces together. You see that doesn't work very well because of the size of these rocks here. But I like the size of these rocks. I'm going to take this and scale it just a tiny bit. and just this corner. And there. You can do small scales. It won't completely destroy your image. If you're afraid it's beginning to look blurry, you can go and sharpen it just a tiny bit. Hit Control Shift F. Not working. Apparently this is completely different on a Mac, so I'm going to undo that several times. Try that again. Filter. This is the problem with working with multiple OSs, is occasionally you don't get quite what you want. So it's sharpened a little too much. I don't like that. So I'm just going to leave it a little blurry. We can sharpen it and tidy it up later. Push this over here so they're matching a little bit better, and go back to my corrections. Something's unusual happening right now because I am not able to edit my quick mask layers. Oh, there we go. That is a very odd thing, but now I can. Alright, back to work then. So now, I was going in here and pulling out little bits of information there, pulling a little bit out there, pulling a little bit out there. And you'll notice that it's still not making this perfect line of anything. And we're still having the problem across here where we're supposed to be fixing. And it'll be a slow process to get all of these to line up correctly. So I'm going to steal a little bit of dirt between areas right here. And that's going to help me cover some of this. Now notice how this nicely lines up there and that nicely lines up there by sheer coincidence, but what that's going to start doing is getting us a little bit of that space, that grout in between the dirt. I'm going to thin it up a little bit because it looks like it needs to be. Doing a mask layer, back to my brush, in which it's doing, oh here, I switched my mode. My brush is now in normal mode again. So now at least this is beginning to have a base root of dirt between the rocks. While not perfect, better than what it was. So I'm starting to create this space between here that creates a straight line. I want to fill this rock in with something. I'm going to take and remove most of this because I only really wanted this top part right here. This is very time consuming, especially when trying to fix non-uniform lines. There we go. Gets a little bit of the information up there. That top part is a little too straight, so I'm going to transform it just a little bit to break that upper line. Just ever so slightly. Squeeze a little bit closer. There we go. Alright, so now I need a rock to fill in this spot, and I'm allowing it to be slightly off here and there because I know I'm going to fix it with something else, such as this. This is a little bit off, but I'm going to fix it by putting a set of rock in between here. There's my little bit of dirt. I'm going to take all this information and just flatten it for ease, so I don't constantly try and tweak things over my layers and over my layers and over my layers, because that gets confusing. So now I'm going to take another rock. I need a couple of rocks to fit this line and a couple of rocks to fit this line. So a thicker and then a slightly thinner line. So maybe here sounds good. I guess it's going to be close enough. Not perfect because of the way this edge matches up there, but I'm going to use it anyway. It kind of shows that even within all of this, I got to remember where I'm trying to fill in my voids. Look at that. It begins to fit and look right. Once again, not perfect, but the information is beginning to get there. My main concerns are keeping those lines. So this one's a little short down at the bottom. Take this and just scale it just a tiny bit. These bottom rocks don't fit at all, so I'm just going to get rid of them and find ones that do fit. Let's try these ones. They look like they're going to be a little bit too thick. Let's grab these ones again, right here. Okay, so these are two of the same rock, so I don't want to put those next to each other. Always good to find different areas to steal from. Let's go ahead and take these two. I believe I've stole from these before. So how about these three? Boom. I'm going to take, apparently that's where I stole from there too. One of the problems with non-uniform stuff like this is so much of it looks the same. Okay, let's try from that area. I will take these two. I don't like the way these are two of the same size, so I think I'm going to take this and I'll do it that way. I don't like the break. I want it to be a longer piece. Maybe break here and then have one more big piece there. So this piece doesn't fit. This is all aesthetics at this point. I'm just kind of choosing what I want, where I want it. There's no full rhyme or reason to it other than the way I want it to look. So I'm looking for a longer rock. Here we go. Maybe break it up with a smaller rock there. Sorry this video is so long, but it's actually, this is a difficult problem. That begins to look okay.